Hi guys, welcome to Buyer's Academy, lesson 3. Today's lesson is about getting pre-approved. And I wanted to start off with a statistic. There's a statistic that says that 59% of Gen Z home buyers say that the process of buying a home is overwhelming. I don't think it's just Gen Zers, but I think that statistic is interesting. I know the first time I bought a home when I was technically a Gen Zer, when I was younger, it was very overwhelming. It was scary, but it worked out. It all worked out. So if that's you, if you feel like it's overwhelming, it doesn't have to be. Real estate agents are here to help you on your journey. To make it smooth, to help you with your paperwork, to help negotiate for you, to do your showings, to help you with your inspections. They're there to guide you through each step of that climb towards on the mountain of buying a home. So find a communicative agent that works well with you and that you are satisfied with. So anyway, let's get started today. So welcome to lesson 3, Buyer's Academy. We're going to be talking about getting pre-approved. So you're going to need money to buy a home. We don't all just have cash to go out and buy a home. Not yet, at least. One day we will. But you need to know before you even start shopping for a home, you need to know how much house can you afford. What's your price going to be? So you're going to need to talk to a lender. Mortgage lenders recommend that you do not buy a home that is more than 3 to 5 times your annual household income. Obviously, you don't want to be house poor. You don't want to be, in a house that is too expensive and that you can't afford groceries. So your lender will work with you to get a loan that meets your needs. One of the things that a lender will do is check your credit. A mortgage requires a good credit score, and the higher the score, the better your mortgage rate will be. So some things that you can do to improve your score are paying down credit card balances, continuing to make payments on time, avoid applying for any new debt, like any new credit cards, new car loans, or any big purchases. So avoid any new big purchases while you're trying to build your credit, while you're trying to get pre-approved. And if possible, I know it's not always possible, but try to avoid a job change. Lenders want to see consistency for like the last 2 years, but of course there's always a way to work around things. Like if you can find documentation that your income is steady, then lenders are usually happy. You want to, so when you're done working on your credit, the next step will be to save cash. So a lot of people think that they have to have a huge down payment to buy a home. That's just not the case. I just helped my client buy a home and he spent about $85. So there are ways to get into a home without having a huge down payment. But you will need some cash. So actually he spent $85 plus $100 because his earnest money was $100. So you'll want to save money for earnest money. And now earnest money is different than a down payment. Earnest money is put down when you make an offer on a home. And the more money that you can use for that earnest money, it just shows that you are in good faith and that your offer will stand out and that the buyer or that the seller is more likely to choose your offer because you're serious. So that's what earnest money is. Versus a down payment is what you bring to the closing table at the end of the home buying process. And it's typically, if you're not a first-time home buyer, and if you're not a cash buyer, if you're getting a mortgage, it's typically going to be between 3.5% and 20%. And of course, if you can put 20% down, that's ideal because putting 20% down, meaning 20% of the loan that you're getting for the house. If you're able to put 20% down, then you don't have to pay mortgage insurance. Mortgage insurance is a protection for the lender, and you are required to pay it until you have 20% equity. So either you pay down your loan to build equity, or your home can accrue equity over time as well. But as soon as you hit that 20% in equity mark, then your mortgage insurance goes away and your payment will be lower. And then closing costs are between 2% and 5% of the loan amount. So closing costs include title fees, just all the costs that are required for buying your home. They include the home inspection. That's usually around $500. And then let's see. Yeah. So that's your closing costs. And then like the commissions for the realtors. So getting pre-approved is a process that you need to go through with a lender. And getting pre-approved means that you have a specific amount of money that a lender is saying that you are valid for paying for a house. And you go through these steps to get pre-approved. You're going to provide these documents to the lender. You're going to provide W-2s from the last 2 years of your employment. You're going to provide 3 months worth of pay stubs. You're going to provide the last 3 months of bank statements, your previous 2 years tax returns, a list of debt and assets, and if it applies, a divorce decree. So you're going to be providing some documentation to your lender. And usually it's just like you'll just upload it onto your phone. You'll like take a picture, send the document, and they usually have a system, like an app or something where it gets, it's easy to do. Now everything's online. Next, here's what's going to qualify for your income. Things that qualify are going to be a W-2 income, basically your salary, but also any income from a part-time job, any income from a second job, overtime, bonuses, seasonal jobs, and any self-employed income. So that's qualified income. Also, child support and alimony counts as qualified income. Things that don't count for your income include lottery winnings. Sorry, gambling, unemployment pay, any single bonuses, like just a random single bonus, or like a cosigner, non-occupied cosigner income. Anything that's not verifiable is not included. Okay, so there's a couple different types of loans that you can get. So there's there's VA, I was going to say VHA. There's going to be VA. So if you're a veteran, you can get a VA loan. There's also FHA loans that ran under the umbrella of the government. And then there's a conventional loan, and that's a mortgage that has no direct involvement. And there's different requirements for each one of those types of loans. And there's so many different things that your lender can offer you. So it's just best to shop around and ask your lender like what's available for your particular situation based on your credit score, based on how much debt you have. Hopefully you don't have a lot. And then once you're pre-approved, then it's time to start shopping. So that is what it takes to get you started on the home buying journey. So talk to a lender and they'll walk you through it too. And usually your realtor will know some good local lenders that work in the community and have less fees. So you'll want to shop around because different lenders charge different amounts and do different things and have different skill sets. So you'll want to find a lender that is compatible with what you're doing and is going to give you the best deal and help you get the lowest rate so that your monthly payment is as low as possible. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, don't be too overwhelmed. Yes, it is scary. Buying a home is scary. It's a risk. But if you don't take risks, you're going to get no reward. So that concludes lesson 3 of Buyer's Academy. getting pre-approved. If you are in the market for buying a home, if this is something that you're interested, give me a call. My number is 801-800-1148. Share this video with your friends, and come back for lesson 4 tomorrow. Thank you and have a wonderful day.